Good. Yeah, I mean, broken bones heal fast. So I was good from that pretty quickly, a couple weeks, and then I had my meniscus in the Tampa Bay game that I ended up getting addressed after the season. So I went to the best in the business, had the surgery, and I'm feeling good. Like I feel really good. So yeah, I'm gonna for sure be 100% by training camp without no hiccups or anything like that. So.
And that was surgery you got done. What kind of surgery was that? Was it a scope? Or was it like
I mean, we were anticipating it to be just a quick surgery, but then he went in there and then, did what was best for my knee. So obviously, scope is like a quicker recovery, but long term probably not the best. But in season, a lot of people do it so they can come back to play. But I did the full repair because we have the time, and I want to have a long career. So that, with the fact that like I said, I went to Dr. Elatrage, who's the best in the business, and then the rehabbing here and stuff. So rehab for that it's longer than a scope would be, but it's not like a ACL or Achilles. Like I'm moving around really good. So
How far along in that recovery are you?
I'm 3 months. So they say like I can come, like if we were in season, like it varies, but and my rehab would be different based off of kind of the pressure of in season, but like around 4 months is kind of the sweet spot. So I like to be back, and I'm participating in OTAs. I'm limited right now, but on the back end, my goal is to be full go.
How exciting was it for you to get the contract done and be back here after the season that you had last season?
It was best case scenario for me and my family, and something that I was kind of in season. I couldn't think about it because I was so in the mode of every week has its own demands and stuff. But when the season ended and things settled down, it was just obviously getting that extension kind of wrapped up. We were talking about it towards the end of the season, but then we were able to do it actually pretty quickly, like a couple weeks before free agency. So just a huge blessing for my family.
What did you learn about yourself and I guess the league that you get traded? There's a lot of uncertainty about heading into a contract year.
Yeah.
You have that season, you get this kind of long-term deal and security. Like, what did you learn through the whole process?
Good question. I mean, I think bet on yourself. Also, just I think it wasn't necessarily the fact that it was my contract year. It was I've had a kind of a weird career. With coming in as a nickel, then missing my second year. Then I came back my third year, which was really like my second year, playing 3 positions. And then last year it was like my first true year as a safety. So I felt like I don't know, it was just kind of like weird first couple years of my NFL career. But when I was kind of locked in, okay, I'm going to play safety, then it was just like, all right, I know what I need to do. I know what I'm capable of. So there was kind of like no, whether I stayed in Tennessee or came here, I was going to be successful. And then I came here, and it was like the best fit out of all the teams. I was put in this position and with great coaches and teammates and stuff, and like the transition was really easy. Because of them. So, I feel like the football on the field part was just pretty easy. It was just kind of being in a position to get healthy and to focus on what I need to.
Why do you think that was? That it felt easier, as you said.
I think just the culture here, like, it's hard to explain. Culture, it's hard to put a finger on. It's just something like that you kind of know when you come in the building, the energy. You can kind of tell by the way people carry themselves in here, the positivity, like the energy, like I said. Everything is kind of driven towards success. So, I mean, like I said, like it seemed like I was set up for success. I came in here, I had a, the way we run our system too is a 3-safety system. So I kind of knew, okay, I'm going to be playing some pretty meaningful snaps right away. And then from there, it was just about making plays.
Obviously, you come in like right before the season last year, and things move fast. Just how excited are you to not only have another, off season in the system, but just to kind of, I guess, not move right before the season and get more comfortable?
Yeah, I'm very excited, especially since, like I said, like this will be like my second year playing safety. So now it's like last year I kind of had to learn on the fly, but now I'm very comfortable at just even my alignment and all the aspects of the position, and then that plus being in the system, it's like I'm able to not like cheat it sometimes, but I'm able to like it's so ingrained in me, the system, that now I can focus on more on what the offense is doing and how the coordinators are trying to play chess.
Did you your number? Did Najee? You guys have to do some type of.
Well, I wanted to switch before we even signed Najee, so I talked to the equipment staff, and I wanted to be number 2. But then obviously we had to wait for some finalizations and stuff. And then once we signed Najee, I was like, okay, cool. It's, it'll probably be likely that I'll be able to wear 2. So yeah, it worked out well. Nah, I didn't want to. If I would have like waited a little bit and leveraged him, then I could have. Yeah. Say it again.
Intel. I mean, they're going after him for 8.
Yeah, I could have. Yeah, or at least gotten like a steak dinner out of it. No, he's a good guy. Our paths have crossed a couple times just from we're the same recruiting class. So I remember being recruited, going on recruiting trips, and him being there and stuff. So yeah.
Where was that at? The trip that you guys went on?
I think it was one in Washington where I ended up committing. So.
Is 2 meaningful for you at all, or you just like the numbers?
Not necessarily, no. Like 22 obviously was the number I wore last year. I feel like it's a running back number. And I mean, the number was good to me. I just wanted to drop a digit, so.
Of your first couple weeks in here.
First couple weeks here, really good. Weather is beautiful, facility is beautiful. Everybody on the team, staff is very welcoming. So it was a pretty easy transition, honestly, and we got right into work. So, I've been having fun here so far.
Was there anything about LA or the coaches that stood out to you that made you want to come here?
I felt like they showed me the most love out of free agency. Like I had the most conversation with them, and it looks like they had like a nice plan to utilize my my strength here. And obviously, like I'm very familiar with Harbaugh being my coach in college and the strength staff and some of the players here. I know them, so it's kind of an easy decision for me to come over here on the West Coast.
When you said utilize your strength, what do you mean by that?
Well, I'm a big corner that can be used in the run game, can take away bigger receivers. I've had a lot of like one-on-one matchups in my career in my last 4 years. I played on the inside for 2 years at nickel, so I'm familiar with that. So there's a lot of versatility that can be utilized by our DC, and I think that's what he does. It's like from what I've seen in the film study and everything, like we have a lot of different coverages. Like we're never in just one specific scheme, and this is what we do. Like we move it around a lot, so I think that's where my versatility can bring something to this defense.
What was it like seeing Jim again? Was it funny or normal?
It was a little funny. I mean, I haven't seen him. I saw him a few times here and there. Like I remember when I went to Minnesota, transferring to Minnesota, we played against Michigan, so we had a chance to exchange and kind of talk a little bit. But so much has changed since I've been in Michigan and him coming to the league and everything. So it was good to reunite, because that's still the coach that gave me my first scholarship when I was 17, 16 years old. That kind of started my career. So it's good to have a full circle moment.
Is Jim different to you now than he was when you met him when you were 16 or 17?
Nah, it's still the same old guy. He's still the same guy, straight to the point. Funny guy, but he's gonna compete. He's a competitor. He knows how to win, and he knows how to pinpoint competitors. So I think that's why he came back and recruited me in this free agency, because he knows what type of player I am.
Was Clink at Michigan when you were here?
No, see, I left in the middle of 2019, so I missed Clink, I missed Coach Jesse, but I heard a number of good things from one of their players that they coached that was with me at Washington, Mikey Sandstrom. Kind of spoke highly of them. So, yeah.
What are your impressions of Jesse Minter?
Impressions? Very smart man, smart coach, and able to put his play from the small glimpse, like from the small amount of meetings that we had. It looks like he's able to cater defenses and plays to the strength of the players that he have. From Derwin to Elijah to Cam and Tari, he puts players in the right position for them to just go excel instead of just plugging them and leaving them there. And that's my defense. That's how I do it. He's very good at doing that. And yeah, it's been good so far. So I'm looking forward to see how it goes the rest of the season.
What have kind of your early interactions been with the rest of your room? I know there's a lot of game experience, I guess, within the law.
Yeah. It's been smooth, honestly. From day one, we just introduced ourselves and I feel like everybody got the same goal from going to the playoff. Like last year, we got a little bit of taste of winning. So now we know what it takes. When we know what we need to sacrifice, what we need to improve on, and it feels like a very close team. Like everybody speaks highly of everybody. Everybody's close, and I like it so far. I like it. Yeah.
How much did you play on special teams in Washington?
I think I played mostly I played a little bit, not as much, but I played every year something, some sort of phase. If it's not kickoff return, kickoff was always on kickoff, corner on punt return, a little bit of gunner here and there. That was always been a big thing. Even in college, that was always emphasized. So I always have that in my back pocket, in my game. Yeah.
Do you expect to working during training camp on some teams units?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, for sure. I'll be on all units wherever they need me, and yeah.
Do you feel like you have something to prove here, even in Washington, coming here?
I would something to prove is not. I wouldn't say prove, but I would say it's something to show, show my full potential. I feel like I show glimpses of that and all that stuff. And throughout this off season, I kind of had a time to do a retrospect and looked at what I wanted to improve, what I wanted to take out of my game, to kind of bring me to that full potential. And no better way to do it, with a new team that's on the ascending on the rise, just made the playoff, and I got a great coach and great coaches.
And how do you feel like they went there, in terms of your potential, where you were at?
Back in Washington?
Yeah.
I feel like I was making some good strides over the years. Last year was tough. The reason why, don't know. I guess that's just life. That's just how it is. A professional athlete, you get some ups and downs. And my goal for this offseason was kind of pinpoint what went right, what went wrong, and kind of make sure that those mistakes don't get recreated here. And so that's why I'm very optimistic for this season.
What were some of the things you identified when you went back and did the retrospective as far as what went well?
I kind of, with the change of new staff, new people, and all that stuff, you kind of have to adapt on the go. So I had to kind of do that, and I was put into some situation where maybe I could have done better. I could have did a better transition, and I would say I overthinked a lot of things. I was overthinking some stuff, putting more pressure on myself, because it was trying to impress new staff, trying to do this. Now we started winning and all that stuff. I was trying to do things that were not part of my game, and I just had to go back to who I was. That's what brought me there. That's what made me a starter. That's what made me a great player my first 3 years, and I just need to rely back on that. I don't need to be anybody else. I don't need to do anything different, and that's it. I was pretty simple, but it's in the heat of the moment when you're there, when you're on your contract here. It's not easy to be let's just go back to what I know. Let's just rely on the basics instead of looking to chase plays and looking to make plays and I end up not making some. So that's what I'm doing this year, just bringing what I can do, competing with the guys, and when they put me out there on the field, I'm going to just be me.
Did you think that it influenced some of the penalties that you had last year, just what you're talking about, overthinking, like maybe trying to make plays in certain situations, getting outside yourself?
Yeah. I just needed to like rely more and be more like comfortable with how good my technique was. I kind of forgot a little bit like I'm really a technician like of what I do, and sometimes like when I'm trying to force to make plays, then my technique kind of takes a little bit of a hit. But as far as like playing a little bit soft, I'll never do that. Like if that's how the league, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. But I'm 6'3" for a reason. So when my coaches tell me to go down and press, like bigger receiver and all that stuff, it's not to play soft and be passive. So if they call a flag, they call a flag. We should have to live with it. But I'll never change the way I play to kind of cater to how they call things. Maybe I'll be a little bit smarter about it. I'll try to find some loops around it, and because receivers and the offense, they have ways to get away from penalties. So we'll find our ways. But no, I'll never change how aggressive I am on the field.
In terms of that new situation, new coaches, you're in a similar situation now, a new franchise, new coaches, new scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Having spent the time to like reflect on last season and how you handled that transition, do you think that'll help you handle this transition better, so you're not again in that mode of like trying to impress the coaches in a new situation?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, there wasn't much that needed to be changed. I got recruited here by the staff because they know what type of player I am. They know what I'm a competitor. They know what the skills I bring. So that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just bring that and not trying to like change the way I am to kind of like fit and trying to fit something maybe that I'm not. Because they already know who I am. They know what I bring, so just bring that. Bring your toolbox, bring who you are as a person, bring your competitive mindset, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to trying to do some things that I usually don't do as a player and all that stuff, and that's it. Play free, play comfortable, go out there and win some games.
What's been your impression of the culture of this organization for your first few weeks, that you think?
There's no I here, There's no individual. Everything is a team thing. Everything is attention to details from the weight room, from how we do things, from the meeting rooms. And I think from this past year, past season, and the amount of success that we had, like being one game away from the Super Bowl, you can see that. Like those are the teams where you put the team first. There's no I, there's no selfishness, there's no individual bigger than the program. Like those are the teams that wins, and I think this team has that from what I've seen so far.